Hi guys, Harry Otis here, professional trader for 20 years now. Started my career in 2005, still alive in 2026. Okay, we are nearing the end of the month, end of June here on Monday the 29th. We are bid. The market here is a chart of the S&P 500 SPY, and we're getting window dressing. That's the theme of the day. We talked about it on Friday. On Friday we said we expect for the next 2 days, meaning like Monday and Tuesday of this week, that we're going to get window dressing. We're going to get passive fund flows into the market at the end of the month, and probably it'll continue the first couple of days of the month as well. So yeah, that's what you get with passive ETF flows. Okay, so we suspected that we're going to get these up moves coming into the end of the month. So we're consolidating the highs. Okay, we are consolidating the highs. Today we're going to talk about window dressing. We're going to talk about what we brought up before in terms of rotation. And also, we're going to go over some trades that I made. Well, actually, one new trade that I made today. Okay, so let's get started. First, we talk about the technical picture. Guys, it's still bullish. We can bring in the moving averages. We're still holding the 50, hugging the 50, still bullish. Okay, but we don't have to get technical. We don't have to really hold the 50 because, all you got to look at, forget this wick down. This is a data error, but we're basically holding the highs. Okay, we're holding the highs. We're alleviating some of the overbought conditions. We have some. Here we had a lower high for the bears to come in and show their claws, but I think this is a trap. I think what I think we are in a bullish mode, and we stick with the bullish mode. Okay, we could get this sideways pattern that leads into some kind of wedge that could break out. Who knows? We're just speculating here, but when you have a huge up move and it consolidates the highs, the next move is usually up again. Okay, so let's talk about the sentiment. Still fear. We have plenty of room to go higher. I was saying for a long time that I would love for the market to undercut the 725 level. It would be beautiful. Maybe get to 715, 710, because then we would really get to extreme fear, and it would really, really have an exhaustive move to the downside. But we don't need to have that. I just think I would be much more secure in my bullish stance, although I'm still bullish. It doesn't really change. But the move will be much more exposed to the upside if we had some kind of exhaustion. It doesn't have to, because we really have, if you look at the sub indices, fear and extreme fear in a lot of spaces, and especially here, like the put call ratio. A lot of people, as this move was happening, the past week, we have a lot of calls that are being, a lot of puts that were being bought. So I don't know if we get to the downside. We're already at pretty extreme levels, and people are protecting themselves with puts. So those have to expire worthless, I'm sorry to say. And that's just how the market works. It doesn't like when, trades go so far on one side. So I don't know if we're going to get that undercut of the 725. Whatever, it is what it is. Okay, so that's it. But it's good to see the bullishness play out. I love the fact that we're still fearful, and a lot of the sub indices, especially the breadth. Remember, I expect the breadth here to come back as we're going higher. Okay, so let's talk about window dressing, and let's go over some of the trades that, or the concepts that we talked about before. We talked about rotation. Okay, so we suspect that we rotate out of the very, very hot semiconductor space and into, quote unquote, the rest. Okay, because like we said, I expect here the stock price breadth to cycle into greed. Okay, well, today we didn't get it. Today we got the semis still strong, still bullish, still a series of higher highs, higher lows. We didn't even get close to the 50. We didn't touch it. I was hoping we would touch it. That would be a great buy point. Okay, still waiting for it. It will touch at one point, and that's when you should be buying. Okay, but do we have rotation? Well, not today. See, if you look at the heat map here, we see that rotating here out of tech and out of the semiconductor space, this should have been red and everything else should be green. But no, we're back into the semiconductor trade. So just 1 day of rotation is not enough. Okay, we have to have a trend of semis. Maybe it's not, they're not at highs. Okay, it's not like reversing. It's just going with a trend. And I just hope that it would be better for the market in the longer term for the semis to sort of consolidate, okay, and not rocket higher. So the rest of the market could go up, okay? So that's my thoughts on the rotation trade. It just happened yesterday, meaning Friday. We want to see a pattern of it going around. We want to see like the flu going around. We want to see a pattern of rotation going around. We don't have it yet. It doesn't have to happen. We've had this entire market going up before on the Mag 7 alone. So yeah, I mean, that's what you get. This is today's market. This is what you have to live with. Okay. That semiconductor space is still working. Okay. So that's why I wanted to get into it, but at a logical, technical level on a pullback. Okay. And to me, the logical level is at the 50. Okay. It's not enough to go down from like, let's say 663 to 600. It's not enough. I need more. I want to see more. Okay. So before entering the semiconductor space, okay. So let's reiterate more. Let's talk about more of the other sectors that we expect to go up, like oil. Expect to play out. Oil, I expect to go down. Okay, I'm extremely bearish on oil. I think there's going to be a wash of oil coming onto the scene. But now it looks like it's consolidating the lows here. We might get a bounce higher. Who knows? Maybe to the 79.80 before really cracking, or just a little bit higher before going lower. But I don't know the interim path, but I know the mid and longer term path is down. Okay, so oil is down. So, I expect rotation. I expect oil down. Let's go into gold. I still like the gold space, even though it is weak today. I expect to see some kind of bottoming action happening very, very soon. Okay, we're not out of the woods yet. We could be like this for another weeks, months, who knows. Remember, the trade that I'm taking is we're acquiring inventory as, businessmen, and we plan to get out of it months ahead. Okay, it could take 6 months, this gold trade. Okay, so that's it. It's just a reiteration of what I expect to happen going forward. And finally, I have one trade that I made today that I like, okay, and that's Nike. Okay, look at the chart of Nike. It's down from a high of 175 down to 41. It's getting killed, okay. However, okay, at this stage of the game, let's make it clear so you guys can see it. At this stage of the game, we have the price going lower. Let's give you a technical reason to buy. I want to go long, okay. Look at this. The price is going lower while the RSI is cycling up and the MACD is cycling up. I like these trades. These setups are telling me that the down move is probably getting exhausted, okay? We also are at the 41 level, this level that it hit. It's a longer term look all the way down. It was a support resistance, a support area now, all the way to 2014. Okay, it's far back. Okay, but I just see there's value in this stock right here. We all know what Nike does. Okay, it's like one of the best apparel companies, so we know the fundamentals are solid. And if you look at the earnings as it's been going down, okay, the earnings are still beating. Okay, look, the earnings here, they beat by 20%, but nope, the market doesn't care. It's in a downturn. They beat by 42%. Here they're starting to beat. They're still beating by 80%. The market doesn't care. It's going to take it down. It's going to take it down. Okay. So we have earnings coming up, and this is why I wanted to go long. Okay, we have earnings coming up tomorrow, Tuesday, the 30th of June, after market. Okay, so how did I play this? Okay, I wanted to have a longer term play, and I wanted to go long. Okay, but I didn't want to just. If you look at the options, let's go back to the options here. If you look at the options here, we can go to August, 53 days. No, what is it? Nike. Okay, we have October. We could go to July. These are the expiry dates. Okay, we have the calls and the puts here. Okay, to me, I wanted to get more of a longer term feel because I really, at this point, I want to own the stock. I want to be exposed to the stock, even on earnings. I think as earnings come out, we're going to get an explosive move to the upside. Okay, based on the technicals and the fact that it seems to be getting a little bit exhausted to the downside. So I want to be long stock equivalent. So how do you do that? Okay, so what I do is I want to buy a leap. Cool. It's like a longer term option. Not exactly a leap because I was looking at the December expiry. Okay. And what I did was the price is trading at 41.60, let's say $42. Okay, and with earnings coming up, which is right here, $42, we have the calls and the puts. So I decided to buy the calls. Look at the delta column here. I decided to buy the 32.5 call. Okay, it's a longer term. It's deep in the money, so I'm getting like stock exposure. And the delta here is 82, which means that for every dollar increase in Nike, this option will increase by 82 cents. So it's almost a one-for-one stock exposure. I'm keeping it very simple. I want to buy this longer-term December that expires at the end of the year call because I want to have direct exposure to the company, and over the in the interim period, if we have good earnings and the stock rips upward, I'm going to sell covered calls on it. Okay, so it's like it's called a poor man's covered call. You're buying the call, and then you sell a longer dated call, and you sell shorter dated calls on it. Okay, so for that I bought it at $10. Okay, I bought this call at $10. The 42. Let's write it down here. So I bought the 32.50 for $10. So if you add $10 to 42 to 32.50, it's 42.50 is my break-even price. We're already there. It's like 41.50 right now. So one more dollar and I'm like at break even. Okay, and I expect it so destroyed here that if we get some kind of good earnings announcement or some good news coming up tomorrow, that this could really explode higher, even get to 50 really quick, which could maybe almost a double or whatever. Okay, since it's longer term, I can start selling calls on it. Okay, and if I sell calls, you can see that if I sell a call that is at the money here, let's say it's at the money, 41 to 42 call, will be around $5 if I go longer term. Okay, but if I do it month by month or a couple of months, I don't mind if I get called out. Okay, I can make a good 100% return on the money here, on the risk that I have within the next couple of months. Okay, so I like this break even. It's very close to the price. I'm not taking that much of a risk. If the stock goes below 32.50, all I can lose is my initial investment. Okay, so $10 per contract. I paid $10 for it. Okay, so that means all I can lose is $10. So if it goes to 50 or 52.5, I'll make $10 because I'm long at 42.5 basically. So it's a one for one. Okay, and if it goes higher, great. And if you look at the chart here, well, we have to get rid of these things first. So if you look at the chart, back to the chart. If you look at the chart, 50 is right here. It's a very short bounce to get to 50. Outside chance 68, 70 is the other level. Okay, so I have a long time. Okay, I'm playing the December right here, expires here. So I'm willing to take that risk. I'm willing to take the risk of risking basically $10 to make $10 because I think the $10 or more. Okay, so and I plan to like sell cover calls if it ever gets there. Okay, so which will it'll lessen my cost base. So it's a longer term trade. I expect to and I wanted to participate in it as if I was long. I didn't want to sell a put or do anything like that. I wanted to actually buy the shares. Okay, but in a cheap way with downside protection. Okay, so that's it, guys. If you have any questions, just ask me in the bottom here. Just leave your questions. If you want me to get deeper into what I did with Nike, that's great. But basically, I expect window dressing for the next couple of days and probably this entire week. The next 3 days of July. So basically, this entire week, I expect some kind of bid. We are we are at fear, and a lot of puts were being bought. And so I think that we might not get that flush down. Okay, too bad. I just think this market is set up to go even higher in the weeks and months to come. I'm just bullish at this point. I see no reason to not be. All right. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Last day of the month. Later.